All right, so it's been motion, it's been second. Any other discussion? All right, so the discussion I wanted to bring up about the budget and what we have is I just wanted to commend the staff for the hard work that they've done on the budget as far as the budget projections, what the budget projections are right now, the highlights in the agency. I think making us one of the most competitive in the region or the area, as far as I know, as far as being able to do police recruitment. In addition, I want to talk about the ability to be able to give our staff 100% healthcare benefits, not only for the member, but as well as their family. I think it's making us very competitive. Us going to performance-based budgeting as far as putting those mission and guidelines on in each department of the budget. I think it's a very progressive budget that we have as far as in the look. I also want to note that in looking at all of our partners, Prince William County has got the Distinguished Government Association Award over 35 times. Occoquan has gotten it many times. And for us, changing the way our budget looked last year and getting our award for the first time from the agency, from one of the highest government accounting agencies, is to be duly noted. Changes is often difficult, but the only constant we have in life is change. And so I'm excited for the changes that your administration is coming in making. I'm also excited that our capital improvement plan and budget that the Planning Commission unanimously approved and recommended to the council, as well as the ability to have it fully funded without being able to tap into any of our reserves, any of our rainy day fund, and to be a pay as you go is also to be commended. And so I want to thank you and your staff for your hard work in putting this budget together in spite of the public health pandemic and things that was going on. So I'll pass that on to your accounting department and all your department heads because we do appreciate that.
Thank you. Now, great to hear that.
Yeah. So and I also didn't hear any. I just heard a lot of good comments from the public as we went around talking about the budget and what was out there. And so if there's no further discussion, Councilwoman Neville made a motion to adopt items B, C, and D, the fee schedule, the budget, and the capital improvement plan. Who seconded that?
I did.
Okay, Councilman Phil seconded. Seeing no further discussion, I'm going to call for the question. Councilwoman Neville?
Yes.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miles?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, and Mayor Wood, yes. So the budget, the fee schedule, and the capital improvement plan all passes 5-0. All right. Let's see what's next on our agenda. Next on our agenda is our next meeting, which is
what we got one more item, Mayor.
Okay. What am I? Oh, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I see Dan in the back. We got one more item. That's this handy dandy thing right here, isn't it? Our resolution authorizing the refunding of our general obligation bonds. Now, Town Manager, can you also, I don't know if you know, because a lot of people have been asking when we talk about refinancing obligation bonds, can you also speak out what those initial bonds were taken out for? Because people think we're refinancing the building right now that we just purchased 2 years ago. And so just give them the gift of clarity.
These were the kind of older, all completed projects that the town had done over the years, I think dating back to 2003, I believe. So these were projects that are long since completed that we were still paying higher interest rates on.
Okay. So did Mr. Siegel have anything to add to the conversation?
So if I may, the resolution that is before the council is to pretty much, this is the final step in solidifying and authorizing the actual refunding. So Mr. Dan Siegel is here from Sands Anderson. He's serving as bond counsel for the deal, as Mr. David Rose shared with the council at the last council meeting. Mr. Siegel, do you want to just chime in for a bit?
He's got to unmute.
Okay, let's get him unmuted.
See, he's got to do it, right?
No, Keith can do it.
All right, I hit it on my end.
No, he's still on mute.
Oh, I see. Hold on one second.
He's got a phone line. And we thank the public for bearing with us. This is our first virtual town council meeting. And so we're working out all of the kinks of this new normal and change. I know some of y'all are tuning in on the TV. Our audio was off for the first half of the meeting, and hopefully you all are back to full audio now. We apologize for any technical difficulties, but we are recording this meeting, and this meeting will be replayed for you tomorrow at noon, as well as you can see it on our YouTube channel. Were you able to unmute?
Hold on one second.
Okay. So yeah, he's on his cell phone.
Yeah, I don't see the cell phone showing up.
You call him.
Yeah.
Call him on another cell phone, and maybe the audio can come through.
Maybe he was still in the listening room. Let's see.
Keith, you got his number?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Maybe you could try that. More than one way to skin a cat.
We thank you if you're just tuning in. We're in the process of talking about our bond refund. We're working through our technical difficulties, but bear with us.
We might just have to give up on Dan.
Just have them disconnect and come back in.
Yeah, we're working on that. But what I can confirm is Dan came only to bring good news.
Okay. The rate would drop again.
So we're still projected to save the 640,000. We can't hear you, Dan.
Because Dan has joined us through the computer. If he goes down to where the microphone is, he can join computer audio, and we should.
It looks like he has sound. That Dan, speak, say something. It looks like the little message changed on his screen. It's not saying anything.
I still see the red muted mic, which means the video is still muted.
I don't see it anymore. It disappeared from my view.
It's still muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There he is.
Yeah.
Sorry it was so difficult. Yes, it was good news. So you're right, the interest rate stayed the same, but the resolution just really does what David Rose reflected at the last meeting, with the great news that that he had thought back when he first came to council and talked about this, that we'd get savings somewhere close to 490,000 from this refunding. But as it turned out, you got a great bid from Sterling National Bank, and so the savings is going to be 640,000 net of all expenses.
Wait.
So
So you say from 490 to 600 and what?
640,000 net of all expenses. So it's pretty remarkable. It's just under a 20% savings from what it used to be. So, and there's no extension of the debt. So the maturity of the bond is exactly the same. It's just a new bond out. We're taking out the VML's ACO bond from 2010, and we're replacing it with this bond that is going to be sold to Sterling National Bank. The initial rate is a taxable rate because the IRS rules won't allow us to make it tax exempt until November. But we did something really unusual here. We set it up so that it automatically converts in November to tax exempt. And the bank agreed to lower the rate when it converts from 3.73 to 2.80%, fixed for the rest of the term. So that's why that savings is so great. And I think that's basically it. I don't think there's any more explanation. The resolution, I think, just refers to all that. Mr. Rogers did a great job of working with us and giving the information needed to the banks and from the RFP. So all we have to do here is as Mr. Rogers said, the last action is really just to approve this resolution, and then we will close on May 15th with Sterling National Bank, and the conversion will happen in November. But I'll be glad to answer particular questions on the resolution before you.
So, Mr. Rogers, this is giving us what, an annual savings now of $30,000 a year in bond payment?
Approximately, yes, sir.
That's
Wow.
right. That's right.
You're saving
Yes, great.
$30,000 a year with this motion. That is tremendous. 20% value. I'll open it up for council. Council, is there any questions about this bond refinancing for these 2003 and 2010 bonds for, I think, some sidewalks? I don't know. All right, seeing no questions, I welcome motion for action.
Any public comment?
Oh, that's right. There's a public hearing. Let's see. We have non-attendees in the public. Is there anybody in the public wishing to speak to the motion that we're got on the table, a potential refunding of our bonds? All right, raise your hand now or do so now by unmuting yourself. Okay. Going once, going twice. Town manager, you see anybody?
I do not.
Okay, seeing none of the attendees with their hands up, I now welcome a motion from the floor. This public hearing is now closed. Councilwoman Miles.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and now second to approve the resolution. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, it's been motioned by Councilwoman Miles and second by Councilwoman DeVille to move forward with the resolution to refinance our bond. All in favor, Councilman Fields.
Yes.
Councilwoman Miles,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeVille,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nickerson,
Yes.
Mayor Wood, yes, motion carries 5-0.
Great. Thank you very much. And we'll be in contact about setting up the signings once we get all the documents finished. But I appreciate your patience with my with the technological issues. So thank you again.
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Next on the agenda is our next meeting, May 5th, will be to be determined if we have any business that we need to handle at that time, council. I'm just going to go around. Is there anything else for the good of the community that council? I know y'all didn't get y'all comments, so we'll just go around. Councilwoman DeVille, anything for the good of the council you want to?
Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay Dumfries and Prince William County strong.
Okay. Councilman Fields, anything for the good of the the community?
This past weekend, those that came out to my drive-through pantry, it was wonderful. I gave away 50 boxes of non-perishable foods, and we had some great sponsors and great participation. So hopefully I can do it again soon. As long as this pandemic is going on, I will definitely try to do it again. But I have pictures on my Facebook page and maybe a few on the councilman Facebook page. But thank you all, and I'm glad I was able to bless some people in the community and around the area.
I got to see that video, Brian. Well done. I was hoping you would speak on the video, but you was working, passing out the boxes. Good job there. Councilwoman Mouse, anything for the good of the community?
Yes, so I want to remind everybody, stay safe, stay at home as much as possible. We also want to keep in mind not only your health, but the health of everyone in the community. Remember that when you go out there, you're risking everyone in the community as well. So if you can stay home, please stay home. But we also want to keep in mind that when we're home, we're feeling isolated. So I know that there are memes going around in Facebook.
Right.
Check on your extroverted friends. We are not okay. We are not okay, okay? Check on your extroverted friends because we're in the house. But in all seriousness, there are those that are stuck in the house. We want to make sure that we're protecting our mental health as well. I know the ARC of Virginia is setting up one-on-one counseling. I don't have the information in front of me, but if you follow me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram, Councilwoman Salonia Miles. Starting on April 1st, they're setting up one-on-one counseling to check on the disability community, one-on-one counseling, just checking for individuals that are feeling extremely isolated. Also, those that are suffering with addiction, who can't get to meetings necessarily the way they need to. There are virtual meetings that you can go to online. So I always talk about not suffering in silence. So please reach out. We need to protect all manners of our health, and that includes our mental health. So make sure that you're doing that as well. Stay safe.
Thank you. Well stated, Councilwoman. Mr. Rogers, anything for the good of the community?
Just a few quick things. One, I want to remind all Dumfries residents to please complete your 2020 census. You should have received it via the mail. You also, for the first time, I believe, can complete your census online. So we are encouraging and urging everyone in Dumfries to complete their census. It is used as a critical tool, particularly when in regards to funding for the town as well as the county that can be used back in the community. On another note, I did want to just let the council and the public know that I believe because of the high winds we've experiencing, we have reported some power outages from Dominion. But Dominion is on site. They are working on that. There was at least a partial outage in the John Wilmer Porter building and in the surrounding area. So Dominion is working on that. So I just wanted to pass that information along.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. Vice Mayor Nickerson.
Thank you. So I second the sentiments that have been presented by fellow council members to please stay safe. Also, don't forget your mental health, as Councilwoman Miles mentioned. I and the Prince William Community Foundation are continuing to hand out weekend meals at the schools that are already designated for daily meal pickups for the schools within Prince William County. This coming Friday, we will be at Forest Park High School. We will be there beginning at 9 o'clock until food runs out. Last week, we gave out 75 meals. The week before, we gave out 150. So it is a first come, first served basis. So please, if you have a need or you know someone that does, share the information with them. Again, we will be at Forest Park High School. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you for the work y'all are doing out there in the community, passing out food. We're definitely hearing good things about it. Just want to echo this sentiment. You have a save round, Councilwoman DeVille? Something you needed to add?
Because I was caught off guard going first and I forgot. Next Wednesday is Denim Day, which is where we raise awareness and support for victims of sexual violence and raise awareness about sexual violence in the community worldwide. So I am sponsoring Denim Day Dumfries next Wednesday, where everyone just needs to wear their jeans, take a picture to help raise awareness. If you search hashtag Denim Day Dumfries 2020 or go to my Facebook page or Instagram, information's on there. Just email me if you have any questions. That's all. Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Mr. Rogers, now you got to save round.
Sorry, Mayor. Did just want to make one more announcement. Public Works is kicking off our spring paving schedule. We're starting next week. So I just wanted to remind all the residents that on EB Drive, Bassett Court, Nichols Court, Leda Lane, and also Possum Point, you should have seen the no parking restrictions on those streets, and we will be paving those streets starting next week. That's all.
All right. I attach myself to all the comments of all my fellow council members and my town manager that was stated here, as well as I just want to add, not only the census is important to us because it determines where our HUD zone, it determines our opportunity zones, it determines our SNAP, our funding, our population. All of that is important. I want to let you know that although you haven't been seeing us in the council meetings and things like that, no, we all have been working hard behind the scenes doing various things. We're talking and we're doing a coordinated effort at least 2 to 3 times a week with other chairs and mayors around the region. We're talking to your congressional figures. We're talking to both your senators, Warner and Kane. If you don't have Wi-Fi or that Xfinity isn't working for you, let us know. We're working on making sure that the digital divide is fixed in Dumfries and that everyone has access to Wi-Fi. I know the school board is getting out computers and digital devices so our young people can continue the learning process. We also advocating as well for funding and education for those with special needs to make sure that funding is there. We're also advocating to make sure that we have a voice in Northern Virginia with the governor or with whoever to make sure that we're opening back up only when it's safe and when it's as safe possible. We're not in no rush to open back up and to start back business, but we're trying to make sure it's coordinated and that we have a voice in the process. All right, 2, Dumfries, we still got work to do. We still got a future. We're still building Dumfries, and we're still working on the update to our comp plans. We're also fighting to get funding, construction funding for Northern Virginia Transportation Authority. Public comment is right now open, and I don't know if town manager, we got a place on our site, but if not, we'll make sure that we have a place just like we did for the budget for you to put in your public comment for our Route 1 construction funding. Now, we were supposed to have a presentation right before this pandemic started that we didn't get, but we're going to get that document online. And the executive director for Northern Virginia Transportation, Ms. Monica Backman, has agreed to record a Zoom and to actually go live on Thursday at 8 p.m. with the mayor to talk about the route funding construction money and to talk about our project in specific. We're not going to talk about all 200 projects was submitted, but specifically the town of Dumfries Route 1 widening project, which gives us an opportunity to get our feedback in first and right away. And so we encourage everyone is invited to participate and give your feedback early and often about wanting to get that funding in for Route 1. And last, I'm going to start making sure that I communicate more frequently with you. We're going to start doing more spotlight Dumfries. We're going to do that next Thursday. And I think I'm going to bring on our town manager to just spotlight all the things and just to introduce himself. So you get to know our staff and the hardworking people that's working in the office behind the scenes, to get to know them a little bit more intimately. So just wanted to make sure I got those 3 things to you and to encourage you to continue to stay engaged. Just because we say social distance, you don't have to stay socially isolated. We are all here and we're available. If you need something, don't be ashamed to reach out because we're going to either give you what we have or we're going to find resources to get you what you need. So with that said, I think that brings us to the conclusion of our meeting, and we thank you all for participating. At this time, Joseph, you can end the meeting. This meeting is adjourned.
Night.
You.